All right, guys, let's go ahead and go over Light Lab 5 through 8. This is for those of you, in case you have missed class over the last couple of days, or you just missed a small section. This video is for you. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, first of all, part of the lab was Light Lab 5, and this was part 1 where we're talking about translucent, transparent, or opaque. And this is a pretty easy concept, so I'm just going to go through this one really quickly. But we've been talking a lot about how objects allow certain amounts of light through them. So we've got transparent objects, which allow all light to go through them, translucent objects, which allow some light to go through them, meaning you can see the light through it, but you can't see exactly clear. And then you also have opaque objects, which allow no light. And the GIF does a nice job of showing this over here as well, where you've got all light, some light, no light, transparent, translucent, or opaque. All right, now the next part was about shadows. And this was part of lab number 5 as well. This was blocking the light. You guys notice that when we take this weird lion, bear thing, whatever this horror movie appears to be, the closer that we get to the source of light, the larger the shadow, because it's able to block more light. Remember, this is one of the things we talked about in Light Lab 4. Light spreads out as it moves away from a source. So if it's spreading out, if we move the bear closer, it is going to create a larger shadow because it's blocking more of the light. If we move it further back, that shadow becomes significantly smaller. And we saw this in this really awesome video. I'm not going to play this video for you right now in this clip. It is posted on Canvas if you would like to go ahead and watch it, but it is an awesome video for you to see. Okay, models of light. This was all about the two various models of light, and my presentation doesn't seem to want to be loading right now. Let's see if we can get that to load for me. Nope, none of my images want to load. Interesting. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. We're back. But here is Lab 7, the models of light. Again, I'm not going to show this video for you right here. I'm just going to briefly kind of explain what we did and what we saw. So when we watched this video, it was pretty much just showing us two models of light. In the same way that a cell would be, hold on, I'm going to grab that one. And we're back. In the same way, guys, that this is a cell, it's not really a cell. This is a model of a cell. It allows us to see what cells look like and maybe how they function. We use other things to do this with light. We'll use the particle model, in which we'll represent with BBs, as we can see in this column on the left. And we'll use water, in which we'll represent the wave model, okay, as we see in this column on the right. So the video goes through and it says the particle model, and then underneath of it, it'll say something like light transfers energy. If we believe in that clip that light is transferring energy, then we would put an X in this box right here. Okay, we would put an X in this box. What ends up happening is that all of the behaviors of light are identified as happening in here in the BBs, and all of the behaviors of light are happening over here in the water as well. So both of these models, the particle model and the wave model, are widely accepted by scientists as a way for us to visualize light. Okay, now this one is our pinhole camera. Now we know that when we looked at the pinhole camera, we saw the image flipped. We had an A in the room, we had a T in the room. Some of you were able to see my palm trees in the room, and they appeared to be flipped upside down. Now the question is, why? And that is because of what we know and we understand about light. Okay, what we know and we understand about light is right here, that light travels in straight lines. So if we are looking through a pinhole camera at, say, a tree, the light is going to start in a straight line, but it's going down at an angle. Well, once it gets in the pinhole camera, it's not going to curve back to the top of the camera just so that your image is correct. No, what was at the top is going to continue to go in that straight line, and it's going to go down towards the bottom. What was at the bottom of the tree is it's going to start off towards the pinhole at that right angle, and it is going to continue towards the top. So what was on the top is now on the bottom, and what was on the bottom is now on the top. The same thing would be said for this arrow through this pinhole camera. So we would see the arrow as upside down, and it would be because of the way the light would enter into the pinhole camera. Now let's talk about color and where it comes from. I love this image. I think this is super cool when we're talking about white light. Obviously, as it goes into a prism, it is white when it hits the prism, but the prism causes light to change, and it causes the white light to be split into the various colors that we see here. Now, we saw this when we put white light through the prism, but we also saw this when we put those colors back through the beaker. They formed to create white light. Now, why is this important? This is important because we need to understand why we see certain colors. When we look at these red apples, we see them as red because when all of the white light comes down, now the white light is all of the colors of the rainbow. When that white light comes down and hits the apple, it reflects the red light. So we see it as red. If I'm wearing a blue shirt today and the light comes down and hits my blue shirt, blue is being reflected back at your eyes, which is why you see it as blue. Now, just a little quick challenge question. Based on what we just discussed right there, what color shirt would you wear on a super hot day? I want you to pause the video, think about it, try to explain why, and then come back. Okay, so hopefully you've had a chance to pause the video and talk about this. The answer to this question is the white shirt. And the reason why you would want to wear a white shirt is because what we just discovered is that white light is made up of all the colors. So if all of the colors are hitting the white shirt and then reflecting off of it, that's why we see the shirt as white. So that means that no light is being absorbed into the shirt. The opposite was for the apple, where we talked about this, right? All of the colors kind of get absorbed into the apple except for red, which comes off. The white shirt reflects all that light. Now, black is kind of the opposite. All the light gets absorbed and none of it gets reflected, which is why the black shirt ends up being extremely warm. Now, again, here's another video. And these videos want to seem to give me problems. Let me see if I can skip this one. And this is another video, and I'm not going to show it. It is posted on Canvas. This is about how rainbows form. But one of the big things that we get from how rainbows form is this image that will hopefully pop up right here. It pretty much shows what a rainbow looks like from above. And this is one of the questions in your reading on Light Lab 8. But it showed you that the rainbow would form in a circle. And I'm not really sure why my picture isn't popping up right here, but I wanted to still go ahead. There it is. Okay, so we've got the circle is how the rainbow would form from up above. It's just a really cool image. Now, how rainbows form is they work like, the rain works like little tiny prisms. In the same way that we put light through a prism and it's scattered into all those colors, the raindrops do the same thing. Now, the raindrops at the top tend to show us all one band of red, because look at how when the colors come out of the raindrops, the direction that they go, light travels in straight lines. So if the violet was way up here, it's going to continue to go in that direction. The only one that makes it to our eyes is red. However, if the raindrops go through down here, the light goes through the raindrops down here, maybe this is where violet comes and actually makes it to our eyes. Okay. Now, that being said, that is all for 5 through 8. At this time, you would be able to take that quiz. Hopefully, you have a better understanding of some of these various concepts of light. If you don't, please let me know, and I will do my best to help you. Thanks, guys.